Hey, it's Scott. Welcome to my channel, San Marcos Makes. Today we are making pork belly, burnt in style fried rice. If you've seen my other videos on fried rice, this will be similar. I'm mainly changing the meat, so this will be a quicker video. If you want a really good video on how to do fried rice, I will put it down in the description. Also, last video, we showed how to make these wonderful, wonderful pork belly burnt ends. So if you missed that video, it will also be down on the bottom in the descriptions. Let's get this ready. So one critical thing when you make fried rice is that day-old rice or a few hours rice. So I've cooked a basic rice. You want to spread it out on a cookie sheet or something to dry in, or just simply put it in the fridge overnight. But you want to break up these big chunks of rice. You can really use any rice. It has to be a dry rice. So if you forgot to make the rice, you can still use fresh rice. You just have to dry it. So you want it as dry as you can get it with no clumps. The other ingredient that we should have already made is the burnt ends. Let's get all the other ingredients prepped. Real quickly, let's talk about some of the ingredients that I am going to use for this fried rice. First, you want to get your wok. You want to get it hot. So I am as high as I can get it. I have not put any oil in it, but there's still a little bit of oil from the last time I seasoned it. What I want to look for is light smoke coming off it. That's how I know I'm at temperature. But I've already got my ingredients ready, but if you don't have them ready, definitely now is the time you want to get ready. I did this recipe as, think of it as, everything's in twos. So I have 2 eggs. I have 2 cups of cooked rice. We'll definitely always have a squeeze bottle of oil. And then I did all my seasonings as 2 teaspoons, or you could use a tablespoon. But I did some dark soy sauce, 2 teaspoons, regular soy sauce, 2 teaspoons. I did do 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and then I have 2 green onions, and then of course I have my pork belly, my burnt ends. I want to have all of this ready to go, and I like to keep mine in order so I know what I'm grabbing. I also want to have a cooked bowl. So you'll start to see the light smoke. That's when I know I'm plenty hot enough. First thing I want to do is get a couple tablespoons of oil in the pan. Get it very hot. Again, I never want to lower my heat on the wok. I'm trying to get it as hot as I can get it as I cook this egg. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to scramble the egg, but you want to make sure we're still smoking. That is your indication. Is your pan hot enough? Is the oil smoking? If it's not, let it get hot again. We're definitely got a light smoke, so we're going to start the egg. We're going to swirl this around until it cooks. Once you barely start to see that it is cooked all the way on the bottom, doesn't have to be yet on the top, that is when you want to start thinking about the flip. If you have a well-seasoned one, you should be able to flip it in the pan. Try not to brown it too much. But as soon as it's almost done, it's time to get it out of the pot because we will ultimately be stir frying this more later. All right, before I get my rice cooking, this is where I want to look and see it's not a whole lot of oil. So I want to make sure we're smoking. You can start to see that light smoke. We're going to go back with a couple tablespoons of oil. And this is where I'm going to put the 2 cups of white rice. Now, if you were not doing the pork belly and you're doing, if this is the time where you're going to cook your meat, shrimp, or whatever you're going to do, this is when you want to do it. But I've already got that step done, so I'm going straight to the rice. So I want 2 cups of rice in here, and I'm going to stir fry it. Use this also as a chance if any of the clumps are still there. We want to break them down. Get it as hot as you can get it. Keep stir frying the rice. You want to look for, if you can see that on camera, you can see some of the rice start to pop. That's how you are knowing that this rice is pretty much ready for the next couple ingredients. So I'm going to put back the eggs. I'm going to chop them all up so we have good consistency, good pieces of them. This is also when I'm going to put the burnt ends in. Put the meat back in there. I want to stir fry this. Everything at this point should be cooked. Just getting a little extra color on that rice. All right, last thing we want to do is get our seasoning in there. And you want to put all your rice in the middle. Go on the outside with all your seasonings. So dark soy, regular soy, a little sesame oil. Let's fry this up some more. Oh, look at that color. And then our last step, 2 green onions. Get that beautiful color. So this is definitely done. One extra step if you want to add a little bit of that wok A taste to it, the smokiness that you're getting from a commercial kitchen. Get you a blowtorch. As you do this, keep doing it. You're trying to blister the oil on those kernels of rice. It doesn't take much. Do one little final scorch of it. And that will give you that little extra smoke, that wok taste. We are done. Let's plate it up. So we're going to plate this just on a plate, get it out of that hot wok. This is definitely plenty for 2 people or me. Look at that. So one thing I like to put on mine, I have this original Japanese barbecue sauce. It's from Brachan's. I have no idea. I'll try to find a good link for it down and put it down below. I get this, if you're in San Marcos, excellent store called Radish and Dill. Great food, but really good ingredients. This is where I pick it up. It's the only place I've ever seen it. Definitely one of the greatest like Japanese barbecue sauce I ever had, but it goes really good right on the top of the rice. All right, let's see how we did. Make sure I get a little of the egg, the little burnt ends. There's so much flavor there. It's really good. The burnt ends still got that nice bacony taste. Kind of like a breakfast bacon and eggs with an Oriental cake. Really good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed not only making the burnt ends last video, plus putting it all together with this really neat fried rice. If you've enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. Try to get a video out every week. But please always remember, beans don't go in chili, okra does not go in gumbo, but it is perfectly acceptable to put pineapple on pizza.